72-year-old Imam told judges at the South Jakarta District Court he's the victim of a US conspiracy. Prosecutors say the cell was planning to assassinate the country's president and launch attacks on foreigners in the Indonesian capital. Bashir is seen as the leader of the banned Jemaah Islamiyah movement, which wants to establish a Muslim caliphate across Southeast Asia. Iraq's Prime Minister is urging people not to take part in demonstrations planned for Friday, warning that they could be attacked by al-Qaeda members. Thousands of people unhappy with the performance of their new government are expected to go to the rally. And as Jane Araf reports from Baghdad, Iraqi authorities are laying on extra security.
Peaceful so far, but bracing for trouble. As change sweeps the Arab world, Iraqis are trying to grab just a little of it. They don't want to overthrow their new government, but they're demanding it do a lot better. They're all thieves, these demonstrators chant. People's oil isn't going to the people. Baghdad security forces haven't fought with the demonstrators, but there are more sinister attacks. The night after this group held a peaceful protest, they were attacked in the square after being ordered to leave. They say Iraqi soldiers stood by and watched.
We were very disappointed when at night they sent us butchers to kill us. They were carrying knives.
Ali was one of several people stabbed. He says he'd come from the south to find work when he joined the demonstration. On Wednesday, this office monitoring press freedom was raided. The computers and files of attacks on journalists taken by what the group says were uniformed Iraqi forces.
They just enter by force. They destroyed this door, which is the information office.
The protests in Baghdad haven't posed a threat to the government. They've been small, scattered, and a safe distance from the heavily guarded green zone. But in the south and the north, it's a different story. In Kut last week, south of Baghdad, a protester was shot dead after demonstrators stormed the provincial council building, demanding that the governor be fired. In the north, the second biggest Kurdish city of Sulaymaniyah has been rocked by protest. Investors consider the north the most stable region in Iraq. But events there have shown how thin that veneer of security is. Independent NRT television was attacked by masked gunmen and set on fire after airing footage of protesters angry at Kurdish leaders. Baghdad's top security official is warning that the demonstration could be hit by suicide bombs and snipers. If so, it would be a first, but it shows the government is clearly hoping that people will stay away. Jane Araf, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.
Joe's here now with the sport.
David, thank you very much. Well, we begin with tennis, and the Qatar Ladies Open is at the quarter-final stage, a day after several of the top seeds were knocked out. Caroline Wozniacki survived Wednesday's cull, but she's being made to work hard by unseeded Flavia Pennetta in the last 8. Wozniacki, who won in Dubai last week, struggled to close out the opening set, but eventually took it 6-2, and she now leads the second set 3 games to love. Qualifier Peng Shuai of China dispatched third seed Francesca Schiavone on Wednesday, but she struggled to do the same against Marion Bartoli. The Frenchwoman won the first set 6-2 and closed out the second with ease, winning that 6-2 to book her place in the semi-finals. Now, several cricket fans in India have been left injured after clashing with police as they lined up to buy tickets for India's World Cup match against England. Thousands of fans had camped overnight outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore in the hope of buying a ticket for Sunday's high-profile game. But when the public allocation of between 7,000 and 8,000 tickets had all gone by late morning, the crowds vented their frustration at police, who hit them back with bamboo sticks. Some fans have questioned why so few tickets were available to the public in a stadium which seats up to 50,000 fans. Well, there's one World Cup match taking place on Thursday, and that's between South Africa and the West Indies in New Delhi. South Africa won the toss and put the West Indies into bats. The West Indies made 222 all-outs with 73 from Darren Bravo. Imran Tahir took 4 wickets for them. South Africa are closing in on victory. They're now 199 for 3 off 38 overs. Defending champions Australia will play New Zealand in their second group match of this tournament on Friday, but the game in Nagpur has been overshadowed by the earthquake that hit the New Zealand city of Christchurch on Tuesday. Australian captain Ricky Ponting says the two teams will be putting their sporting rivalries to one side to support their New Zealand brothers.
Look, I believe tomorrow, as an Australian cricket team, we need to show whatever respect that we can and do whatever we can to help people that have been affected by it all. We'll wear black armbands out of respect tomorrow. I'll speak to Dan Vittori at the toss tomorrow morning as well, and we'll have a minute's silence, I believe, before the game. So, look, a lot of that stuff is really small little areas that we can try and help out as two national cricket teams. And as we know, we're neighbours, and we sort of treat each other as brothers, and we'll make sure we do that tomorrow.
Well, New Zealand's cricketers have admitted they're finding it difficult to focus on the match on Friday after hearing about the devastation caused by that quake in Christchurch. Their captain admitted his squad felt helpless and were not able to take stock of the situation back home.
Yeah, it has been difficult, but I suppose we put it in perspective and say it's nothing to what the people back home in Christchurch and the people all over New Zealand are going through, because it has affected the whole country, and the whole country is hurting immensely, and the team feels exactly the same way.
Meanwhile, organisers of the Rugby World Cup say that Tuesday's earthquake will not stop their tournament from going ahead later this year. Christchurch's AMI Stadium is scheduled to host 7 matches during the tournament in September and October. The 6.3 magnitude quake damaged the playing surface, and the stadium is expected to be out of action for at least 3 weeks. But accommodation for rugby fans could be the bigger problem. It was already in short supply before the quake, and now several hotels have also been badly damaged.
We just have to wait and assess it as it comes through. It'll come through in a reasonably timely fashion. We can afford not to put pressure on people in Christchurch at the moment. I mean, their hands are full just with the rescue effort itself, so we don't want to increase the burden on them.
On to football now, and 3-time European Cup winners Liverpool will be looking to progress to the last 16 of the Europa League when they welcome Czech side Sparta Prague to Anfield on Thursday. After drawing 0-0 in the Czech Republic, the Reds will be favourites to go through to the next round. But they will probably be without injured captain Steven Gerrard. New striker Luis Suarez is also cup-tied. It had been speculated that Liverpool's other new forward, Andy Carroll, might play, but manager Kenny Dalglish is in no hurry to rush him back into action.
Andy Carroll's progress has been exactly what we'd anticipated it would have been. He's done very well. We're not getting carried away. And we said, right, the first day when he signed, we'd just be patient with him. And we continue to be that. And if he is going to play, then you don't need to speculate about it, we'll tell you.
Well, here are some of those matches taking place on Thursday that we've selected for you. Spartak Moscow will look to finish off Swiss side Basel after leading 3-2 from the first leg. Manchester City will be hoping for a more positive match after their 0-0 first leg as they host Greek side Aris Thessaloniki. Arguably below, the tie of the round sees Italy's Napoli travel to Villarreal of Spain, with that game delicately poised after a goalless first match. Tiger Woods' dry spell continues as the world number 3 has now gone 15 months without a win. And on Wednesday, he was knocked out of the opening round of the WGC Accenture match play in Arizona. Playing against Thomas Bjorn, Woods was taken to an extra hole by the Dane. But on the 19th, he had his drive into the desert and couldn't recover, losing by a single hole. Defending champion Ian Poulter was also knocked out by Stuart Sink on the first extra hole. World number 1 Lee Westwood, Martin Keimer, Phil Mickelson and Graham McDowell all through